Hey guys, welcome back to our YouTube channel. Today, we are delving into the world of personal development with a book summary of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. This best-selling self-help book has captured the hearts and minds of readers worldwide with its profound wisdom and practical insights on living a fulfilling life. Let's begin our journey into the key lessons and takeaways from this transformative book. So, let's dive into the summary of this incredible book. But before we dive into the content, I kindly request a moment of your time to appreciate this video by liking it, subscribing to the channel, and ringing that notification bell. Your support means a lot to me. Thanks a lot. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari follows the story of a successful lawyer named Julian Mantle, who decides to abandon his high-powered career and luxurious lifestyle in search of true enlightenment and happiness. After suffering a sudden heart attack in the middle of a courtroom, Julian embarks on a life-changing quest to the Himalayan mountains, where he meets the mysterious Yogi Raman. Through Yogi Raman's teachings, Julian learns the 7 virtues of the sages of Savannah, which serve as the foundation for a life of happiness and fulfillment. These virtues include mastering your mind, following your purpose, practicing self-discipline, living with integrity, embracing the present moment, cultivating radiant health, and experiencing the power of service. One of the key themes of the book is the importance of living in the present moment and letting go of the past and future worries. Sharma emphasizes the value of mindfulness and meditation in achieving inner peace and clarity. By quieting the mind and focusing on the present, one can unlock the secrets to a more joyful and purposeful life. Another important lesson from the book is the concept of time wealth. The idea that true wealth is measured not only in terms of material possessions, but also in the quality of our time and relationships. Julian learns to prioritize what truly matters in life and redefines his definition of success from external achievements to inner fulfillment. As Julian undergoes his transformation, he discovers the power of living with purpose and passion. By aligning his actions with his values and beliefs, he finds a greater sense of meaning and direction in his life. The book encourages readers to reflect on their own priorities and make conscious choices that lead to a more meaningful existence. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma is a self-help book that uses a fable to teach principles for personal growth and fulfillment. This book is a guide to using ancient practices to improve your quality of life and achieve your goals. Robin Sharma, a former lawyer, is a widely recognized professional speaker in the field of life improvement and leadership. His other books include Mega Living, 30 Days to a Perfect Life, and The Saint, the Surfer, and the CEO. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari offers a remedy to the problems of modern life. A fable, it tells the story of the enlightenment of ex-lawyer Julian Mantle and gives advice on how to live a happier, more rewarding and enlightened existence. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is a captivating tale that shares profound life lessons through an engaging story. Here's why this book is a must-read. It presents deep wisdom in a simple, relatable way that resonates with readers. The fable format allows for memorable, impactful messages that can be easily applied to everyday life. It offers a holistic approach to personal development, addressing mind, body, and spirit. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is a self-help classic telling the story of fictional lawyer Julian Mantle, who sold his mansion and Ferrari to study the 7 virtues of the sages of Savannah in the Himalayan mountains. I've always wondered what this book is about. The title is catchy and I love Ferraris. Do you want one? I want one. Maybe that means this book is for you and me, because Julian Mantle, the fictional 7-figure-making lawyer this story is about, had one. And he was unhappy, so he sold it. Turns out he didn't need his Ferrari. He needed wisdom. So after he collapsed from all the stress with a heart attack, he sold everything and ventured into the Himalayan mountains. There, he found the sages of Savannah, which taught him 7 virtues, making him promise he'd pass on their teachings. Flowing through the quill of Robin Sharma, who published The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari in 1997, Julian did pass on what he learned. Over 6 million people have picked up his lessons. Today, I'd like to share 3 of them with you. Use the Heart of the Rose exercise to guard your mind against unwanted thoughts. Develop a simple 10-step morning routine with the 10 rituals of radiant living. Selflessly serving others counterintuitively leaves you better off too. Ready for a short round of improvement? Let's see what we can learn from the monk who sold his Ferrari. Lesson 1. Learn to guard your mind with the heart of the rose exercise. The fable Yogi Raman, Julian's teacher, takes place in a garden. It's full of beautiful flowers that smell great. Think of it as a calm, serene place where you can refuel your energy whenever you need to. Imagine if your mind was a garden like that. What a powerful brain. But for most of us, our mind looks like a dumpster much more than a garden. It's littered with mental clutter, unnecessary information, ungrounded worries, and anxious thoughts. Therefore, the first of the 7 virtues of the Savannah system is to control your mind. What you're trying to do here is to control what even comes into your garden in the first place. Think of yourself like a guardian standing at the gate of your brain, choosing who and what gets in. One exercise Julian learned to achieve this is the heart of the rose. To practice it, you need an actual rose and a quiet space to yourself. Then, you simply stare at the center of the rose and try to fill your mind with thoughts about how beautiful it is. Think of it as a form of basic meditation. At first, you'll have lots of distracting thoughts, but you'll get better at keeping those out of your head over time. That's the goal. The more disciplined you become in which thoughts you accept into your mind, the easier it'll be to turn it into the beautiful, energizing garden you need. Lesson 2. The 10 rituals of radiant living are a simple morning routine that covers everything you need. In the story the yogi tells, a sumo wrestler also appears. Sumo wrestlers subscribe to an ancient Japanese idea called kaizen. It means never-ending improvement. This idea, to always be learning and getting better, is another virtue of the Savannah system. The sages suggest a 10-step morning routine they call the 10 rituals of radiant living to help you live this virtue. The ritual of early awakening. 6 hours of sleep and seeing the sunrise. Of course, you have to figure out how much you need yourself, but this is what they suggest. The ritual of solitude. Always make a few minutes to practice silence after waking up. The ritual of physicality. Move, get up, do some exercise. Whatever gets the blood flowing. The ritual of live nourishment. A vegetarian diet based on fresh food is what the sages follow. The ritual of abundant knowledge. Keep your mind stimulated with a bit of reading or studying. The ritual of personal reflection. Did you do your best today? What could you have done better? The ritual of music. Listen to music often to never get stuck in a bad mood. The ritual of spoken word. Write down a short mantra you can repeat to yourself throughout the day. The ritual of congruent character. Always follow your principles. Write them down, be aware of them, and stick to them. The ritual of simplicity. Ruthlessly live your priorities and remove everything else that's unnecessary. This reminds me a bit of the miracle morning, but it's more than that. You can see it extends way beyond your morning, but that's the whole point. A good morning leads to a good day, which ultimately leads to a good life. Lesson 3. Selflessly serve others and you'll be better off yourself. Later in the story, the sumo collapses but then reawakens to the smell of beautiful, yellow roses. These roses represent another virtue, the idea of selflessly serving others. It's beautifully summarized in this ancient Chinese proverb: a trace of fragrance always remains on the hands that present you with roses. It's a metaphor which says whenever you help someone else, some of the benefits will come back right to you. You rarely know when and how, but karma always comes around. This doesn't mean you have to join the Salvation Army. Small, simple acts of kindness and compassion go a long way. Every morning, take a few seconds to think about what good you can do today. Whether it's calling your grandma or praising a coworker, it'll bring you one step closer to what the yogi would call an enlightened life. I love when nonfiction authors use fiction to get their message across. Maybe that's what's made the monk who sold his Ferrari so popular over the years. It's timeless. It's a really inspiring story, and I think whatever it will be, you'll find out something interesting about yourself from it. Here is a sentence showcasing the greatness of a quote of this book. Investing in yourself is the best investment you will ever make. Robin Sharma. And those are the individuals who truly deserve to immerse themselves in this extraordinary book. Fans of self-help books, people interested in Eastern mysticism, workaholics. The 23-year-old college student who's under immense pressure during her exams. The 43-year-old manager who feels really burned out from work, but can't get unstuck, and anyone who wants to buy a Ferrari. Here are some invaluable insights gleaned from this captivating book. I trust you will find them exceedingly beneficial. Feel free to delve deeper into its wisdom and let it inspire new perspectives and ideas in your journey. 1. While working as a wealthy, high-power lawyer, Julian Mantle had a spiritual awakening. This is the fictitious tale of Julian Mantle, a man who seemingly had it all. A graduate of the famous Harvard Law School, Mantle was one of the most well-known trial lawyers in the United States. He was making 7 figures. He lived in a mansion. A red Ferrari was parked outside. He was living the dream. However, underneath it all, he was struggling. His workload was far too heavy for him to handle. Each day there was a new, important case for Mantle to take on, and he approached every proceeding diligently. Eventually, the stress became too much for him, and one day Mantle suffered a severe heart attack and collapsed in the courtroom. After that incident, he never returned to practicing law. In fact, no one at his firm heard from him after his heart attack. Rumor had it that he'd moved to India in search of some answers and a simpler life. And, indeed, that's exactly what he had done. Before moving, Mantle sold his mansion and his Ferrari. He was sure that his quest for meaning was more important. And then, 3 years later, he returned, showing up without warning at his former colleague's office. He was the picture of health, with a Buddha-like smile stretched across his face. Mantle had been traveling from village to village in India by foot. On his journey, he had learned about yogis who seemed to defy aging. In Kashmir, he had heard about the great sages of Savannah. And these new discoveries inspired him to venture to the Himalayan mountains, where he came across the monks that lived there. It was there that Mantle had a reawakening and finally found his soul. 2. A mystical fable teaches the 7 principles of the Savannah system. In the mountains, Mantle found the group of monks known as the Sages of Savannah. One monk, Yogi Raman, shared his wisdom with Mantle. They discussed the meaning of life, and Mantle learned about ways to achieve greater vitality, how to become more creative, and to feel more fulfilled. 3. Finding fulfillment is a matter of mastering your mind. The garden from Yogi Raman's fable represents the mind. A lot of people end up littering their mental gardens with waste, that is, negative thoughts or fears. The first virtue of the Savannah system, then, is to control your mind. You have to tend to your mental garden, and the best way to take care of it is to stand guard at its gates. Only let pleasant, positive thoughts in and ban the detrimental ones. For to lead a fulfilling life, you need a purpose to guide you. The second virtue of the Savannah system is all about purpose. This principle is represented in the fable by the lighthouse. The sages of Savannah have a clear sense of purpose, and therefore never waste time. They know that they have a duty to fulfill this purpose. 5. Constant self-improvement is key to a radiant life. Remember the sumo wrestler? Well, he represents a virtue in the Savannah system, too. This virtue is called kaizen, a Japanese word that means constant, never-ending improvement. It's all about unlocking your potential. 6. Live a disciplined life and manage your time wisely. There's another quality to recall about the sumo wrestler in the fable. He was stark naked apart from the pink wire cable covering his privates. The cable actually represents the 4th virtue of the Savannah system. This principle is concerned with living a disciplined life. 7. Selflessly serve others and live in the present for a joyful, rewarding existence. In the same way that Mantle collapsed at work under the weight of his responsibilities, the sumo in the fable went unconscious and fell to the ground. But he awakened full of energy, thanks to the scent of the yellow roses. So what do these flowers symbolize? An ancient Chinese proverb says that a trace of fragrance always remains on the hands that present you with roses. Now, let's delve deeper into the intriguing world of The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. This captivating story not only entertains but also enlightens readers with its profound teachings on living a purposeful and fulfilling life. Julian Mantle's transformation from a materialistic, high-powered lawyer to a serene and enlightened monk serves as a powerful reminder that true happiness comes from within. Through his encounters with the sages in the Himalayas, Julian discovers the importance of living with intention, aligning his actions with his values, and embracing the beauty of simplicity. One of the central themes of the book is the idea of self-mastery. By taking control of our thoughts, emotions, and actions, we can create the life we desire and deserve. Julian learns the significance of cultivating a positive mindset, practicing gratitude, and letting go of negative beliefs that hold us back from reaching our full potential. The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari also emphasizes the importance of setting meaningful goals and following through with disciplined action. Julian's journey teaches us that success is not just about achieving external accomplishments, but also about finding inner peace and contentment along the way. As readers immerse themselves in Julian's adventures and the timeless wisdom shared by the sages, they are encouraged to reflect on their own lives and make positive changes that align with their deepest values and aspirations. Through the pages of this book, readers are reminded of the power of mindfulness, the beauty of simplicity, and the joy of living a purpose-driven life. It serves as a gentle nudge to slow down, appreciate the present moment, and savor the journey of self-discovery. In essence, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is a beacon of light in a world filled with distractions and noise. It offers a roadmap to inner peace, personal growth, and lasting happiness for those who are willing to embark on the path of self-transformation. In conclusion, The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari is a timeless parable that offers profound insights into the art of living a life of purpose, presence, and fulfillment. Through Julian Mantle's journey of self-discovery, readers are inspired to embark on their own path to personal growth and transformation. You can find the link to acquire a copy of this incredible book in the description below. Thank you for joining us today as we explored the key lessons from The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari by Robin Sharma. We hope this summary has inspired you to reflect on your own life and take steps towards a more fulfilling and authentic existence. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel for more book summaries and insightful content. And share this uplifting summary with someone who may benefit from hearing them. Leave a comment down below if you've read this book or have any other recommendations for us. Stay tuned for more book summaries and insights on personal development on our channel. Remember, it's never too late to start living the life you truly desire.